And that's beautiful because this means we have heaven versus hell. And they're on the appropriate sides this time with the luscious greens and then the whoops, we let someone carry one ring to rule them all too long, and now we've turned into this.
Are you poking at the logo?
I am like I have pointed out that it is the angry eyebrows. And the best part is, they got a sponsor recently. They got Mazda.
Mm.
And I'd like you,
Yeah.
in conjunction with everyone in chat, to just quickly have a look at the Mazda logo.
Oh yeah, right.
And what does that look like? That looks like right. So they're angry eyebrows. The Mazda logo is angry monobrow.
So it's just it's all about the eyebrows, huh?
So the brow bros.
Brow bros. It's not bad. Brow bros.
And
Brow bro.
and if HellRaisers ever kick their captain, this is the team he will now go and make. And it will still only rate in the bottom 30% of names we have seen amongst Dota teams.
I mean, if I ever decided to get back into Dota, I mean, my team would definitely be called the Brow Bros.
Damn. Well, for that, I have to be your general manager now. So it's a pact that's been made. But I'm sure there's someone right
Done
now
deal.
like, why are you not talking about us? Because the Dota runs itself. You see, like, we aren't talking, but the draft is still going. As we are finally 3 picks in, we can start to see the pictures that are being painted. And I mean, HellRaisers definitely look like they've got better team fight so far in this draft, and I wonder if they'll double down in it. Sort of. I mean, it's surprising to pick the Undying against the Snapfire, but you do have the Arena and the Mars with his active Bulwark to interrupt any attempt to take out the Tombstone. But
that's a very quick Alchemist pick there.
it still works, right? You can farm the zombies.
Yes. However, if you're picking Alchemists to farm zombies, I have news for you.
Oh yeah? Am I going to be very rich?
Yeah, it could be that one, or that just might not be the best of ideas. But hey,
I just like to imagine Snake remembers that clip from a few years ago where like an Undying dropped the Tombstone and the Alch ignored the Undying, let him run away, and just sat there hitting like zombies for the entirety of the
I mean,
Tombstone.
that definitely sounds like an Eternal Envy thing to do.
That's true. I think it might have been. I think it was an NA team.
That has to have been Eternal Envy.
I mean, between like his pub experiences and his professional, it's probably been him plenty of times. We know that man likes his gold. Also likes the big brain plays. I guess the other thought here is it's an Alch. It's a hero that has a lot of attack speed, so you will be able to get through the tombstone as the game goes on. Because if you're relying on Snapfire, it's good for the level 1 tombstone, but even at that point, like the Mars screws you over because the Arena will block the shots and also the Bulwark redirects ranged attacks.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about this Alchemist, kind of what the idea is here. I feel like the Mars and Lina should have a pretty good lane. Potentially, Snapfire can offset some of the work, but yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see kind of how it goes. Of course, the Acid Spray in conjunction with kind of the Scatter Blast is going to be a bit annoying. I was just curious. Also, it's also like Undying into Snapfire, right? The what's it called? I have never played Snapfire.
The little
Shredder.
Yeah.
The little Shredder.
I mean, it's a good name. It's so Snapfire right now. I mean, the little Shredder is good. Mainly, I think in the early phases. Later on, it feels awkward because if you're ahead, then like it feels like a kind of moot detail, if you get what I mean. But if you're behind, like how are you as a Snapfire going to run through the fight and go find the tombstone? You're a support, you'll die. I mean, that being said, this could be a mid Snapfire. We have been seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, so that's the thing that I was kind of thinking about, whether or not this is actually going to be a mid Snapfire. Personally, it's kind of it's fun to watch at least. So, but it looks like it's just going to be the position 5 here, Snapfire.
It's not bad against the Mars, mind you, right? Because your Arena, you want to play inside the Arena. Well, Kisses is going to be on your face. So it kind of forces you to choose whether you can like burst someone quickly in the Arena or if you have to abandon your own ultimate.
Okay, so it's just going to be an offlane Timbersaw now with the Lina there and putting the Mars mid. I quite like this. generally, I'm not the biggest fan of Timbersaw overall, but I think in a scenario like this, I think it's kind of cool having the Mars mid at least, and yeah, hopefully he can make some plays. I mean, the awkward thing I think about the HellRaisers lineup is that they kind of lack control. They have the Lina and the Mars, and these spells are not, sure the spear is kind of easy to hit, but just setting up yourself for hitting Lina stuns is not the easiest thing. So
Cue
there's that.
cue montage of missed spears this game.
But at the same time, it does look like a decent Timbersaw game here, at least for the first 20 or so minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of magic damage in the later phases of the game, but you are up against multiple strength heroes that you can exploit. Even the Snapfire is a strength hero, so you can run down a lot of these heroes potentially. It's just a case of whether Lil can get off to like a decent start. I mean, last game, despite there being 3 heroes in lane, I'd say he got off to a good start. And Alina with a Timber does sound like a kill type lane, but you have to be the ones playing aggressively.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely sold on this Undying hero here, but I do like Spectre. I mean, in recent times, I think Spectre has been a hero who's been doing really well. Um, but I quite prefer the support duo here from. I was about to say NIP, but Live to Win.
Got him. I love
And
how
I'm
you
just kind of
stayed
intrigued.
in the SIP guild, by the way, despite parting ways with the lads.
Right. I
Now,
mean, you gotta stay in the guild,
I mean, it just feels like it's too much of a loss if you leave the guilds. I think that's the bigger burn here. But I can see where you're coming from. At the same time, Lil, he did, despite the way that game ended, Lil had a pretty decent early mid game. Proved what he can do with Alina pretty effectively. I guess the other element, I feel like you really can't underrate Undying right now. Like, the way this hero has been adjusted in the more recent weeks in comp play has shown new strengths, which I never wanted to support. Because, let's be honest, for the longest period of time, Undying has looked pretty measly. It's been that hero you kind of pick, and if it doesn't do something in the first 4 or 5 minutes, why did you pick it?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I guess to some extent that still is Undying. Of course, you can use the Flesh Golem and Soul Rip for some nice things, but
That is actually a thing as well, by the way. Like, if you look at all the cores on HellRaisers, they naturally are quite tanky. So these Soul Rip saves are going to have more effect because of the damage reduction elements of all these heroes. Like you essentially get more bang for buck, I guess is what I'm going
yeah.
for.
Yeah, I mean, the thing though is, I think I once again kind of just prefer the Live to Win lineup. I think it's just they have so many kind of low cooldown spells to play around with, right? Like the Clockwork, the Underlord, Invoker, Snapfire. They all have very low cooldown spells, and Alchemist bar his ult, which is also kind of low cooldown. I think it's easy for them to play around with these low cooldown spells.
The other big issue, right, is you look at HellRaiser draft and go, who's taking these early towers? Who's making these rotations? You're against an out. So if you kind of get passive and don't shrink the map at all, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah, and once again, it does look like they're just gonna go for this tri-lane here, and just leave the Underlord up top. He's gonna be cutting the first wave, or well, just skipping the first wave basically, and then just
Then just essentially get your XP, get past that hard hurdle to level 3, and then you're more or less self-sustained. Even an Undying shouldn't be able to pressure you out. The mid lane should be the interesting one. I wonder if Kasani's going to go for that kind of right-click build where you pick up a Deso, because this does feel like a pretty decent Deso game. Like, these heroes don't really build armor on the side of Live to Win.
no, for sure. It definitely could be a nice Mars game if he gets off to a decent start. I think this Mars has to have a pretty good game for them to be able to do well here.
Yeah, because that's the big thing about their draft. Like, we already mentioned the lack of tower taking early on. The way they're going to be able to take towers has to be off the back of big fights. Speaking of fighting, happening in the bot lane. They'll chase on a Lil. LSA gets side steps. Oh, ooh, the tree. Nicely done, but the Scatter Blast does clip onto Lil, and first blood gets drawn. I think they... The problem now is if you bring Undying down, they'll just shift away, right? They're like, okay, he's TP'd, we'll just leave now. So it feels like for Live to win, the way they just get through this maybe volatile early start to the game is they complete dodge out King R.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have to fight this Undying, like the Underlord, you know, especially once he gets to level 3. Well, he did go for actually the Atrophy Aura, but, you know, once he gets to 3, he can just push the wave with the Firestorm, and he doesn't really have to care all that much.
No, and what you lack in early net worth, you'll make up for because this hero inherently farms well anyway. You're hardly seen Kasani get off to that good start that we expected. And it looks like FN is filling on the crosswex, so not looking to throw any points into the exhaust. Makes sense with an Alk in your lineup. You just kind of have to be full utility and controlling the fights.
Yeah, I think it's a very good kind of vessel game here for the Invoker. It's nice against a lot of these heroes. I also think just the crosswex, like the EMP this game is going to be a very, very annoying spell to deal with.
Oh, it's true, especially against the Mars. Like, this hero's mana pool feels pretty mediocre for the spell kit that you have. Attempt to pressure again. Doesn't work out this time. Merchant is incredibly low. It might be that... Yeah, he's just going to head back and grab the sub off the courier. Maybe you could rotate towards mid. I mean, it's a little bit rough, right? That's one of the awkward matchups that Merchant has in this game. You're a Clockwork against the Mars, which makes you kind of easy to get rid of with the spears early on, at least.
Yeah, they're kind of just committing to this tri-lane down here. As a result, you can see that the Spectre is, you know, just happily farming away up top here. He's not really contested by anyone.
Yeah, but the big problem is LTW is doing the same, and it's the net worth differential you'll already see starting to build. Oh, nice kill. Catch on the Lil, and he's gone. Cheap no frills combo with the Clockwork Snapfire means that Lena's not going to have a good start to the game. And I mean, they aren't pressuring Phonic too much in terms of like killing him, but they have completely stemmed his ability to hit creeps. Only on 9 CS so far. I guess it's more concerning for HellRaisers as well, right? You've got a Timber compared to an Underlord. Which hero requires the first 20 minutes to go well? It's very much always going to be the Timber.
Yeah, the Underlord is... In a game like this, he's just always going to be effective almost no matter what. I mean, this Firestorm, the percent-based damage is good against so many of these heroes.
I guess I could see a scenario in which the Timber is threatening to LTW, but that would have been only if he was ahead in XP. Like, imagine you get a quick 6 against an Alk. You could very easily burst him with Alina, but even though they ran 3 heroes down here, you can already see that Alk is ahead in terms of XP over the Timber.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think that, like you said, you know, if not even just about getting early 6, but I think you need to be able to pressure him very quickly. Like, this Alchemist already now, he's got the 2 bracers. He's got enough gold to buy the belt of strength, so he can just... I mean, once he gets his treads, he could just easily go jungle. He's also going to be level 5, so jungling for him is not going to be a problem if he's forced into going there, you know, once the Timber gets too strong.
Yeah, more or less, like, after the Catapult wave, LTW could just back away from the lane and be content, because Timber isn't really a hero that pushes towers well. And then I guess the concern is, like, when you talk about Kasani on this Mars, he's got concerns of his own. No mana, no escape, and just going to be brought down.
That's a pretty big kill too. I mean, he was... I think he was, like, he was about to just start pulling ahead a little bit, but now it's all kind of just neutralized.
Yeah, he would have needed +1 hero to kill FN with, like, an arena, but I think the bigger deal is, like, you get arena, you find, like, a rune, and you just rotate the out lanes, and mainly just focus out this Alk, because if you can connect the Mars and the Timber, you can start to close out this game, but it's going to set him back. The concern is that FN's the one who's going to get active now as he finds the regen rune, starts to move top. There is the TP coming in from the Clockwork. Will be spotted out by the ward. Doesn't matter though. Cold Snap, stay on top of King R to bring him low. The problem is he's got the Soul Rip. With the stick, he'll have enough, and they bait him in with the arena thrown down. They pin him against the wall inside the pit as well. They'll just look to run away with the invis. They don't have protection for this. They're going to chase forward on the King R. But he's not a kill. Well, it was an ambitious arena. I'll give him that. Now, for 70 seconds, you have no ultimate, and FN will have fully regened his health in another 10 seconds maximum.
I mean, maybe he was hoping for a Dustra sentry on the Undying there. Now you can see Phonic, he did hit this level 6, and Snake is most likely gonna go down here.
It's a sad Dragon Tamer.
He's doing a good job though. He's just pulling creeps away from the tower. And Lilith's trying to tank the catapult.
He kept it alive a little bit longer. The problem is, with you being that low, you're going to race the F and goes, okay, there's no way Lena's staying here, so I'll just come and stop the Timber now.
He kept it a while, what? Bit longer?
I think it stayed up for like 2 more hits, maybe.
For a little bit longer?
Hey,
You just,
I need to, like, I'm going to take my paycheck from this, and I'm just going to buy a ludicrous number of bottles of vodka. And then every time we feel the need to make these type of comments, I'm going to drink a whole bottle of vodka.
Oh, shoot. Don't do that.
And then when I'm dead,
doesn't sound good.
My death will be on your conscience.
Oh, no.
Just like King R's is going to be on Nix's.
Not what you expected.
I'll immediately give up the puns.
just to twit longer. I will strive to be better. There will no longer be these type of comments. I realize what I have done now. KP's sanity is being slowly lost. Just like Saneko's life. Ooh. Sonic's like, you're playing with fire right here. He will eventually get this tower, but I've got to say, the moves around like juggling the creep wave has slowed him down quite a lot. Like, getting this at 10 minutes as a Timber with the way the initial levels went doesn't feel good. You were looking for like making maybe an 8-minute tower take timing.
Well,
Meanwhile,
he's gonna be fine here.
LCW
He's gonna find. Wow.
Wow.
That was the. I mean, that was kind of the best thing you could hope for there. You just get enough mana to haunt out, and you're even finding this alchemist, even getting the last hit. And now you're just gonna be able to take over this bottom lane, even maybe pick up another kill.
Yep, the dagger's coming in. Snake will try for the TP away. They don't have the damage to finish him off. But they have forced him to vacate. You already see the move. Phonic says, okay, top lane is now my new home. They're going to try and pressure him for it. The problem is the Spirit Vessel is nowhere near complete. They don't even have urn charges because they couldn't get that kill onto the Spectre. Critical moment. Not just dodging out that death on Spectre because it leads to the kill on the out, but also because now FN is walking around with an urn that doesn't have any value.
Hey, you get mana regen, okay?
And 2 armor. You're over 11. You're over the 10 mark. You're at 11 armor. That is a critical point because of the way that like damage is calculated. There we go. That's too complicated though. Let's just say, ooh, urn charges, please. That tombstone though from King R. Like they can't do anything about it. There's no arena for 15. And Kasani, this is the problem. He's used the spear. Even if he had it, like the problem with the cogs, of course, is you pin Immersion in there, but Immersion now run away. Snapfire will be chased down and Timber. Man of the moment. Phonic strikes back, finds even more kills, chasing across on Immersion next as well. Has nowhere to run, and most definitely nowhere to hide. His cogs will not protect him. Nothing can protect him from Phonic.
Yeah, and I mean, Phonic was up to that. I mean, it looked like it was gonna be a pretty rough start, but he's recovered very well here, and now you can see that the. I mean, the Underlord, he's pretty. He's kind of down there, you know, down in the dumps.
Yeah, he's not really getting the kind of gold we were expecting. We thought, you know, first few levels, hard. Then, just Firestorm, hit creeps, go jungle, like double up your gold. I guess the problem has always been Undying.
Bottom lane.
Go out. This is just an expected result of your position, though. This does mean that FN finally has some urn charges, though. So, it might be that we finally get the Invoker's maximum impact in these early fights.
Yeah, and you can see that the Afterlife, he really wants to go and just Firestorm these creeps here up top, but
no, no, you don't. I mean, they got the kisses as well. This is another concern. They don't have the best combos. Like Clockwork, he hasn't got his hook shot yet. That's like your one combo, really. Like you hook shot cogs and then kiss the person down. But This stage, like, who's your target? Phonic's now completed the hood, so you're never killing him. We shouldn't be killing him anyway. There's always this pesky Undying that's going to heal up whoever you get low. It's a bit of a rough one. I do like this from Kasani, though. Like, not going for the deaths or anything like that, just going straight for the blink. Understands that, like, the awkward problem for him is how you initiate in these fights.
Yeah, no, I like the blink first. You know, you can go blink into BKB Deso or Deso BKB. Probably you want to get a pretty quick BKB in this game, as most of the damage coming out of Live to Win is magical, and it's gonna be magical for quite a long time until the Alchemist gets big enough.
He still needs some time. He is building that lead. This is playing out how out games usually do, but Live to Win, they need to start finding these kind of skirmishes. The problem is HellRaisers, look at the way they position. They're smoked and moving. They understand that in a 5-on-5, they're stronger right now, and they want to prove it. Immersion just out of ward range. They don't see him. Lilla's going deeper, but RTW's already used the Chemical Rage. They do see Immersion. Stuns out. He tried for the hook shot. It gets interrupted, though. Pinned to a tree and killed off in an instant. And that'll allow him to get this tower. Critical point as well, because then they can start to invade the jungle and just shut the Alk out. What's the move for Liv to win this situation? Do you just maybe try and pivot towards top? Allow your Alk to just inhabit the dire jungle?
I mean, I think you kind of just want to park like the Invoker, like Invoker, Snapfire, Underlord. They can kind of play together. You know, you just want to park the Underlord in front of wherever HR are pushing, and just Firestorm the wave, Scatterblast the wave. Just try to waste time and buy space for the Alchemist.
So do you feel like that was a misread from Live to Win because they had a Kulich in the top lane, right? Like they're just assuming that's the threat lane.
I think they allowed kind of HR to take the position there, like through the smoke. Of course, you don't really want to fight. You know, when they're smoked, it can be a bit difficult, but you want to be protecting your towers. And there's gonna be this blink now.
Blink. FN seen, slowed, and stunned against the wall. And with Timber's follow-up was good enough. The Kisses try and protect in the arena. They do coax one in, but Kasani is still looking relatively healthy, but not for long. Final Kisses bringing them low enough, but they do find another kill. They get the snapfire. Oh, and the Immersion's gone as well. 3 for 1. Sure, you lose your mid, but you'll definitely take that exchange. The problem is Alk is still farming while this happens, though.
Yeah, I'm curious though. Like once again, I'm seeing this Battle Fury SNY build, and I'm just.
I mean, it makes more sense on the Alk, right? Like, this is a hero that doesn't mind it, and I guess you look, you go, is Radiance that great in this game?
No, I mean, it might not even be so much about the Battle Fury. I mean, a Battle Fury, I think, you know, it might just be fine here. It's just more so the
Sanj.
This SNY here. We'll see. He's looking to go into the BKB afterwards. You know, it might just be to bump up the stats a little bit, get some move speed.
Because I don't feel like Heaven's Halberd is overwhelmingly good in this game either, right? So it's not like that's your excuse.
No, definitely not. No.
Taneko. Closing down the Scatter Blast. EMP should cover the escape. They go instead with the hook shot. LSA. Trying to turn around against Kasani. Throws down the arena to stop them attacking from range. But Merchant's already got the damage to seal the kill. Will cost him his life, though. As they'll bring him down in response. But a good exchange coming from Live to Win. Not if they lose more, though. Taneko looking to move away. Phonic is out of mana. Soul Ring in 2 seconds. Nice fall down, but Nyx already moves past it with the dagger out. Looking to kill off Seneko, who does not have the cookie, but there is no way Nyx is willing to dive the base at this stage.
Yeah, you can see there, just kind of the EMP is just very annoying for them to deal with. The Mars is, he's struggling quite a bit with it. You can see he's already picking up some of these mangoes from the mango tree.
Yes, this is the top tip. Very simple tip for people in your pub games. If there's a mango tree in your neutral stock, take it and plant it right here. There's a reason all pro teams are doing this right now. Do you know how much money you're saving? Like getting a super
lot
savers.
of money.
I know, right?
Loads of money.
So much dosh. It'll make you feel posh. Oh, Phonic. He's feeling a bit moshed right now as they're going to smosh him up and kill him down.
I mean, he just went swash.
It's okay, though. Another offlaner might go squash, too. However, this one has an escape plan. Half-Life's been doing this a lot, by the way. He's been playing in the dire triangle and cutting the creep waves for a while at this point. And finally they respond, which allows LTW to start shoving in the other lanes.
Yeah, and while LTW is, undoubtedly having a good game, the two of his other cores they're not really enjoying themselves all that much.
As is almost always the nature of ALK drafts. Until your ALK is ready to enjoy himself killing people, you're probably gonna just have to suck it up and do the best you can for him. What's the hero that, like, if you pick it, you know the rest of your team's kind of like gonna hate their game and just be waiting around for you? Like, there must be one hero that you know that's gonna be the case when you pick it.
I mean, that I pick, or
yeah, I mean, it's a carry player, right? Like, you can see it from the.
I mean, Naga, probably.
I feel like Naga's like you can play it a bit more aggressively. I mean, we're not back in the Radiance days. I think that was the worst time for anyone on a Naga team is when...
That was... I think that was the greatest time.
Yeah, you would, because you literally found a way to farm the entire map.
The Radiance, Boots of Travel, Manta, Octarine, Naga. That was...
I was...
Basically, the rest of the players in the game didn't really matter. It's like 9 players all hating the game, and then there's one Naga who's just like, yeah, this is great.
Exactly. It's depressing. I mean, you wouldn't see it because you're the carry player in that situation, but I remember watching Dota as an observer back then, as a spectator back then. I was like, my God. Oh, yes. I would not want to get this in my pub games.
I mean, that was the Arteezy era of Dota, That was...
Wait, was that... It was TI3, right? Or was it
no,
TI4?
I think it was maybe played a little bit, but I think the Naga came to fruition around, like, after tier 3 sometimes, and
yeah.
tier 4.
I think I remember like S4 doing it a lot, and it was just like you'd watch the rest of his team unable to do anything. They just had to watch him farm.
I think S4 was not really a Naga player, though, was he? Maybe Loda was.
Maybe it's Loda. I think it was like,
yeah.
I think it was Team Alliance. I remember doing it a lot.
I mean, Loda definitely played.
Oh, hook shot. Whoops. I mean, even your hook shot, that's an Undying. Laguna on the side, looking for the kill on the Invoker. FN gets out with the cookie. Stay on top of him, though. Kiss is going to come at Spectre. Blade Mail's run out soon. Arena goes down. They pin him against the wall. Kasani chases in with the LSA. They get the kill. The cookie was not enough. The kisses are not enough. And Grandma feels a little bit ignored. They do get the kill on Undying, but RTW, Chemical Rage run out soon. Funnick finds the kill on Sneko. In the meantime, they know they need to get out. Merchant cogs them to try and split up the fight. Spear is not able to get them out of range to the TP out. The problem is they have given over Roche, though. Even on this low health, Nyx will move into the pit.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if they had to go all the way back to base there. Maybe they might still be able to do something here.
It's really tough now. LCW, chuck jump, stun. He has got the BKB. LSA hits him, though. They'll go in now. Looking on the Lena. They're going to bring the mask down as well. They still get their hands on the Aegis and move away. So Nyx living means 30 seconds. They'll be able to just ball up and look to fight again.
I mean, if you get some bounties here, you're still pretty happy, I think.
Whoop. Sonic. This is greed, my friend. Assassin's greed. As you have been assassinated.
I was just about to say, I don't think he's dying, and then I was just like, wait a minute, he's got 6 stacks. And I had to click him, and then I saw, okay, yeah. And now he's
and then, on the side is just the, his little side dish. He's the salad with the main course.
He's the snack. He's an appetizer, basically.
He is.
That you have after the big meal.
Yeah. I mean, I wish they'd bring those out quicker. When you're like, man, that meal really didn't hit the spot. I wish I'd like ordered some garlic bread or something with it. He's the garlic bread.
Gotcha.
To be honest, I don't know why we're saying Undying looks appetizing at all. I mean, I don't think if someone brought out a slab of Undying on a plate, I'd eat it.
I mean, he's just a snack, He's just one bite, right? One bite and you're done.
You take a bite of that?
I'm not saying I'd take a bite of Undying.
Just imagine that head comes out on a plate, smiling like that at you.
I mean, I feel like there could be a candy that, kind of looks like it, like a gummy or something.
What, I mean, like, I could see people doing cookies. Like, just cookies with, like, the kind of icing face, maybe. Actually, I don't know if you got enough real estate. The horns make it too big. He's too horny. And now, HellRaisers are horny for some kills as they're moving out with the smoke. They've got the arena. They've got the horn. They've got everything. The whole kit is ready to kick some members of Live to Win in the groin. Let's see how Live to Win's going to read this, though, because if they connect with Spectre, this is the perfect way. And Nyx is off lane. And they suspect something is not right here. Underlord showing that's not the one you want. If you initiate on the Underlord as bad and they break the smoke, they know where they are. Kastani pings it out. Gets pinged himself. Hook shot pumped in onto the Undying straight away. Horn's going to come out. Kastani is holding onto that arena. He's looking for the grand opportunity here. Snako gets jumped onto straight away. Cooking down the low ground. Clockwork down to half HP. Snako brought down. Laguna kills him off. Undying dead as well. Chase onto Timber Sword. Disarm. Bring him low. Arena's finally there. Phonic trying to cut and run. He does get out in time. But now how do you deal with LTW? BKB's going to allow him to stand his ground and fight. Kastani's going to be brought down. The stun line comes down to Nyx and they'll just sidestep him. FN still alive. Looking to move away. Sidesteps the moves by Phonic. Now able to connect with that Chakram. The roots are going to be there to follow up, just dodging out and ignoring Spectre the entire time. They do find FN in the end. Nyx will turn around to fight on top of Afterlife now. But LTW stands his ground next to him to protect him. And they will get out.
Yeah, I mean, when the Alchemist pops his Rage in BKB, it's not that much you can do.
No, that was
Good
the
thing
10-second as well.
Phonic had the Greaves there, so he can remove the Vessel charges now.
Also, the additional magic resistance. Like, yeah, you're against an out, but you're still more worried about the magical damage. So this never sure getting a lot of value. On a hero also who doesn't really care about armor. Unless he gets caught like he did mid, where he hasn't been hitting creepies for like the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, with the Greaves too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you don't really have to care that much.
And these are critical fights for Live to Win. They can't afford to give ground. You know? At this stage in the game, like you need maximum value out of each of these BKB charges because while out can be your strength, when you look at the growth rate of the Spectre and the cores alongside it, there is a risk that you end up on a hill by your own. Afterlife is at least keeping pace though. Credit to him actually sitting third on the net worth chart.
Yeah, I mean, you also look at the kind of the items that ILTW is building. So a lot of these 3K-ish gold items, right? Like 3-4K. These are not the high tier items that he's building. So it's gonna be fully slotted quite soon. I expect him to get the Silver Edge and then maybe queue up the Abyssal, and then he's gonna have to start thinking about how to itemize next. Something that's pretty cool this game though for him is that he doesn't really need like an AC that badly, right? There's not too much physical damage that has to be very concerned about just yet. In before the Mars gets his Deso, then we can start thinking about it.
I mean, it's still a long way off, right? He's going for the BKB first, so that's further down the line. I like that you bring up that point that he's gone for these cheaper items. It feels like what they realized is HR has this faster timing for balling up because of the way that the early game's gone for them. So instead of going the Alk will save us later, LTW has identified that these cheaper items will allow him to be present in the earlier fights. Definitely worked out.
Yeah, and he felt he had to be. But I mean, they have some decent ags this game to buy from the Alchemist, and then the scaling kind of continues anyways.
That's true. Well, this Ray Immersion's going to have his own ags very soon. Just 1,000 gold out. This smoke movement, they find the right kills, might get him just within Peckham range of it. They might look to peck a Phonic here. They ping him out. Tornado off the mark. Sometimes hitting the S key is the best thing you can do to dodge spells. However, Nyx has been spotted. Hook shot in. Barrier assault. Cogs won't do anything though. It is a Spectre. He's gone. It was an admirable attempt. Nyx does have to be careful because they do have the Silver Age now. King Art, just because dying's in your name doesn't give you a free pass to keep doing this. 6 times now he's been put on the sideline with a wow noise.
I was just thinking to myself, what part of King R has death in it?
God's sake. You got me there. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for exposing I don't know how to spell live on stream, Pajkatt.
I know, right?
You've clearly made me look like an idiot here.
That was my goal all along.
Last, I have been foiled. Well, this move seems to have been foiled. HellRaisers know exactly what they want to do. If they want to linger here, they can just ship. If they get anyone low enough, there's always a Horn player ready to go. Oh, no, Kasani! The Horn's going to come out. They have to fight, but Kasani helped with the Tornado. Root's going to be there as well, and the Bash follow-up is good. Force stuff get him away is good enough. LCW doesn't want to chase. BKB running out means he's going to retreat. And the Ice Wall is nicely placed from FN to ensure they will get out without cause for concern. You know, that right
Yeah, the
there.
thing is, they're using these BKB charges, though, on the Alchemist.
It is a critical moment. And that's the awkward downside, right? Is Mars against BKB builders. It's very hard for you to ever get that spear off before they can BKB. You can't build a Yules and spear. They can always BKB. You actually need a lead stun. Outside of Lina, you have no stuns. And this Lina, she hasn't gone for an A for lane. She doesn't really have the cast range to get that long-range initiation.
Yeah, not yet, anyways. But, you know, the Spectre, he's
Trying.
he's scaling.
On it. Not really the ideal target. They don't get the root down in time. I mean, they did, but he was already out. Now they'll break him, though. Without any charge. Kiss as well. Reed's going to go down. BKB Kissan chase in. Stun on the other side. Manage to catch on the FN. The kisses bring Spectre low. Nyx almost dead already. Blade Mail, but it doesn't matter. LTW doesn't care. He brings him down and kills him off. They finally kill the FN, but the cost is high. As they lose 2 and they might lose more. LTW not able to connect to the additional target. But with a big Spectre gone, the arena down, they could easily just push down mid now. Not much you can do to really slow them either. This is the tough part as well. I mean, this Silver Age is such high value in this game for the AUK against every one of the cores of HellRaisers.
Hey, you also remove the Fiery Soul, okay? Don't you forget.
Well, I won't. Thank you for reminding me. There was a concern that Lil might try and build an MKB this game if he got off to a
that's
good
clearly
start.
why he picked it up.
I mean, it is a lot of damage on the initial hit as well, Pajkatt. So be careful, because while you are trying to mock the effect against Selena, you might have a valid point. Heals, stun, in again. Mars trying to escape, but there is no escape from death. AUK ensures that the price is high every time they move out of their base, and Clockwork already having this Ags is painful for them. Now it's going to be Aegis and Cheese going the way of Live to Win. Nothing that you can do to interrupt as HellRaisers. Without Mars, you don't really have any initiation.
Yeah, and I'm curious, though, what they're going to do with this Aegis. If they're going to give it to the Alchemist, and maybe he just stashes his BKB or something. But
I mean, we know
feel like
how these drafts work with Invoker, right? Like, you just give him the Aegis, you alacrity him, he goes up to the high ground, deletes a building, comes back like a dog that's just enjoyed a treat and says, alacrity me more, please. King R. He does like dying in this area. He's really taking this too far. Oh, no. Lil is not going anywhere. They didn't even need the Silver Age for this one. Nyx, this is his new home.
I live here now.
Nobody can hurt me here. There's the moment you're just waiting for Seneko to suddenly have an axe and just spit someone into the bottom corner. Like, no, my home. He's going for this butterfly next, but the problem is the AUK is so far forward that the moment he sees the first component, you know he'll just queue up an MKB and he can hit that item before you complete the butterfly.
Yeah, for now, he's queuing up the Ags. And I'm curious if it's going to go to... Nah, it's probably
It's
going
gotta be
to
Snap.
FN.
You think it's FN?
Yeah.
I was thinking Snapfire, right? Because I mean, it's like it's just free initiation. You only have an Abyssal to get you in on a target as the AUK right now.
Yeah, but would you really want to have your Snapfire with higher net worth than your Invoker? You know, I feel like he might be a bit demoralized. FN.
Are you
know, you had
suggesting that FN out of feeling kind of robbed would not alacrity Alchemist this game?
I mean, who knows? You know, he's like, why did the Ags go to the Snapfire?
And then bribe me.
You know, he's like, where's my alacrity? He's like, well, where's my Ags? You know?
That's true, but then Snako will feel slighted as well. So next fight, no Glimmer Cape, 4-staff save for the Alk. I mean, you know, this is choosing your poison. You've probably been there in your pub games where everyone's yelling at you to give you an axe, and you just look at what they've got, and you're like, which one of these guys is going to help me win more? Like, not their ags, but which one of them, if they use their spells on me, is going to help me win more? FN. See, this is why you don't give him an axe. It's just going to die. What's the point? Moving in. Speaking of dying, it's Lil already gone. Hook shot in as well. And Merchant uses his HP to maximum effect with the double hook shot. Able to burst through them. Mars is down. Nyx chasing forward, but Merchant sidesteps him. RTW, the BKB still running, and the Bashes will get the kill on the Nyx. This game is just looking completely out of control. At this stage, what the hell do you do against this Alk?
I don't know. Maybe you can bait him into the fountain.
Are we back on? This is always our go-to. All right, boys. Fountain tactics. What we got? Well, let's say we got 1 4-staff. We got spear. So you 4-staff into spear. And now you just need to go get the Aether Lens on the Mars, so you definitely have the range. One hell of a good item, by the way. Oh, God. That is a sad-looking Timber. Well, they don't have buyback on their Spectre, and if anything was going to make it obvious, it's probably that moment right there. 30 gold short. Hook shot again, Immersion. He goes straight in on the Lil. Arena goes down. Immersion says, I don't care. You won't kill me. You'll just die if you stay here, my friend. Make a choice. Kasani BKBs to try and poke him down, but where is your damage? Non-existent. It's non-existent. And the stun gets charged up once more. Abyssal in. Spear is not going to save the Undying as King R is almost at double digits on the deaths. Seneko. There we go. There's a Q attempt by Kasani. I think it's too late for Q attempts with Bulwark to save the day, though. Buyback comes out from Undying, but they've lost another. An RTW. He might just look to end this at this point. He's going to heal up. Nyx missteps for a second. That'll be the death that will seal the game. Good. We have a buyback on Mars, who does not have Arena for 20 seconds. What do we think is going to happen here, Pajkatt?
Well, the Alchemist might back off and wait for his ult to come back up. Take the AC.
And then not murder him? He
No,
wouldn't.
he's going in.
No, he looks so nice. He's such a nice guy. He would never hurt anyone. Oh, but this guy might. Okay, I take it back. He's going to hurt people. BKB, stun. Return doesn't matter because he's got that BKB running, and the second hook shot secures the kill on the Nyx, bringing him down before he can do anything. Buyback into the Horde. Now's the 10-round opportunity. FN's been found in the back line. The Cheese won't protect him, trying to move away quick enough, but they still see him. 100 forward. They're looking for this. They get the kill on the clock. What? The spear! It's not long enough. There's going to be a turnaround with the kisses as well. They'll bring down Nyx for the second time. He can't survive through this, and that should be the game. GG gets called. We're going to a game 3.
Are you sure about that?
Wait. No, we're not going to game 3. What mind about? Game 2. We're going to the next series. Sorry, you know what it was? I'll explain what it is. No. So I've been doing a lot of Mars. I've been dabbling, and I think Aether Lens is the way. If he had an Aether Lens, he pins that Invoker, and then they die 4 seconds later.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That was the deal breaker.
It really was. I mean, it didn't look too bad for HellRaisers, right? Like, for a while, you could see a way that they could win this. But I think it really comes back to what you highlighted around, like, Alk's kind of cheap frills items, right? Instead of going for, like, these 6k items, picking, like, always having these power spikes so regularly seem to have tripped HellRaisers up because they are the cooldown-dependent lineup, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this, both the Undying and, I mean, even the Timbers, even though he did have a good game, I feel like it's kind of awkward the way they're drafting. Like, you know, they don't have any proper stunts or kind of ways to play the game together. They're heroes. There's just no, like, there's no cohesion between these, right? Like, you look at the live to win heroes and you can see how these heroes play off of each other, right? The Clockwork with the Invoker, the Fire, the Snap, right? It kind of makes sense, you know, like these these HR heroes, like the Undying, what does he do? Like they have these 4 melee heroes, and then they've got the Mars. Like it's just like they have some heroes that are maybe good against some of the other heroes on the enemy team, but there's no kind of real cohesion, and they're also lacking quite heavily in stuns. So
Yeah, it's kind of a case of like the weird part as well is where you have these kind of convenient points. Like you mentioned already, Live to Win, they have all these heroes that synergize well. A lot of them synergizing around the clock, right? In terms of ability use. Because you can set up for the Sunstrikes, for the Kisses, for the Firestorms. And then what really screws with Mars in this game? A clock. And what is the way that HellRaisers takes these fights? It's Mars. If we said it very early on in the game, if Kasani doesn't have a great start to his game, like where do you pivot as HellRaisers? Like what is your go-to way of winning these fights back to back?
yeah, and it's also who's gonna rotate, right? How are you gonna make kills happen? Spectre doesn't deal any damage early on. Undying doesn't really deal any damage. Timbersaw, like if a bunch of heroes run at you, then you can deal damage, but that's not really how it's gonna work, right? So they just have this lean invoker, and basically all the like they need to do everything pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just kind of unrealistic. So
Well, that does mean we're off to a quick start to the day as Live to Win take a 2-0 victory. Don't get baited by me. We are already on to our next series. So we're going to hit a short break. Then when we return, there is some more CIS involved, but now we get some EU. We're going to have 5 men versus Khan. 5 men versus the Khanate. And I've made
5
this...
men, man.
And I don't know. I don't know how this one's going to go. I mean, this one, Khan... They're not a pushover, right? Recent tournaments where we've seen them, they've proven that they can take games here and there. And 5 men, while on paper, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, look at all these cool players, they're the best. Like, it's still a fairly young squad, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like a lot of these players have been around for quite some time, but they as a team have not been together for all that long. Of course, they played with one another for in different constellations, but
It's a case
yeah,
like you're familiar, but it's that kind of thing that comes from longevity, right? Viking improving it, Team Liquid improving it. When you play together as the same roster under the same flag for a while, everything's just become second nature. You've had this on teams before, right? Where it's almost like you don't even need to say what's coming next. You know what you're going to do in the fights because you played together so much. So,
no, for sure.
I mean, we'll see who that works out for. Khan have been shuffling themselves as well, so they're definitely not. They haven't got the longevity of the Liquid or Viking either. But short break. That's right. We're going to ram some ads down your throat. Not as many as other tournaments. We can't outdo them. They set a higher standard than we ever could possibly hit. But we'll try. And then when we return, EU versus CIS here on this channel.